A land swap deal could bring the Hayes Street Bridge saga to a close. A judge hears new developments concerning convicted child killer Janine Jones. And Toyota could invest $392 million in a San Antonio plant. This is your Express Briefing podcast for Friday, May 24th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. A proposed land swap between city officials and the developer of a controversial East Side apartment complex could help end a years-long legal battle over land next to the historic Hayes Street Bridge. Officials have been looking to resolve the 7-year fight since the Texas Supreme Court ruled that local activists could sue the city over a 1.7-acre piece of land north of the bridge at 803 North Cherry Street. Local activists argue it was intended to become a public park or community space, and the city had no right to sell the land to developer Mitch Meyer in 2012. The Hayes Street Bridge Restoration Group sued the city that year and has since opposed efforts to develop the property into a mixed-use apartment complex. But now, city leaders are pursuing a deal to give Meyer 2 acres of land carved out of a 3.9-acre lot the city owns at 223 South Cherry Street. And in exchange, Meyer would give the city the 1.7-acre tract near the East Side landmark. The city council is expected to vote on the proposal by July. The city threw in an additional 0.3 acres so Meyer's planned apartment building would not exceed 5 floors. Activists fear Meyer will profit from the transaction, and the city will give away land set aside for affordable housing for a development that will charge market-rate rents. Prosecutors have successfully argued to keep personal property, including a Bible, from convicted child killer Janine Jones, who is accused of murder in the deaths of 5 San Antonio children in the 1980s. At a Wednesday hearing before Judge Frank Castro in the 399th State District Court, Jones's attorney asked the court to return an address book, her personal Bible, letters, and personal documents. He said Jones has had those items while in prison for 34 years and questioned the seizure of them, a decision made by former Bexar County District Attorney Nico LaHood. But the chief of major crimes for now District Attorney Joe Gonzalez told the court that the personal writings contained in the Bible, in addition to other documents, showed evidence that Jones could read, write, and has the ability to comprehend, which she said was important because Jones's lawyer has questioned her competency. After hearing the arguments, Judge Castro denied the defense motion, but instructed the state to provide the defense with copies of all notes in the Bible and other documents. 68-year-old Janine Jones worked as a nurse in the pediatric intensive care unit of what was later University Hospital in the early 1980s. In 1984, she was convicted of murder for killing Chelsea McClellan, who was 15 months old, by injecting her with a fatal dose of a muscle relaxer at a doctor's office in Kerr County. Jones was sentenced to 99 years in that case and received 60 years for a similar attempt on a San Antonio child who survived. Jones was scheduled to be released from prison in March 2018 due to a new law aimed at reducing prison crowding, but in 2017, she was indicted in the deaths of 5 San Antonio children at the hospital. Jones is currently being held in the Bexar County Jail awaiting trial, and if convicted, faces up to life in prison. And while Toyota is considering its South Side truck plant for a $392 million investment in production line technology over the next 3 years, the Japanese automaker isn't just eyeing San Antonio. Toyota is weighing all of its North American plants for the investment, which is driving Alamo City officials to sweeten the pot with an incentive package valued at $10.3 million. The manufacturer and 23 suppliers that operate on the site currently employ about 7,200 workers. Under the proposed incentive agreement, Toyota Motor Manufacturing Texas would not have to pay property taxes for 8 years, contingent on the company spending $348 million on equipment and $44 million on land within 3 years. The manufacturer would also have to give $1 million to local educational and workforce development initiatives. The city would promise Toyota a $621,000 economic development grant for water infrastructure improvements, and Toyota's 1,766-acre campus would also be designated a tax increment reinvestment zone, essentially a mechanism that will put property tax revenue from the land into public improvements in the zone, such as drainage and streets. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Friday, May 24th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.